Welcome to the Technology Tips by Centren video podcast. I'm Paul LaFlamme, your host for the show. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about multi-factor authentication. It's an important feature of a lot of websites and applications today to keep you safe on the web. We're going to go over what it is, how you use it, why it's used, and how you can implement it to keep yourself safe. So what exactly is multi-factor authentication? You should think of multi-factor authentication as a temporary second password. It's often called two-factor or two-step authentication. So authentication refers to a way that positively identifies you to a website or service or application. The two-factor step means you have a username and password, but then you also have this temporary second password. Multi-factor authentication is often used in banking, Facebook, company intranets, really anything that needs a high level of security. Now let's get into how it works. It starts with a login of some kind, and for this example, I'll pretend that we're logging into a website. So you start by accessing a website on your computer, and you log in with a name and password. That request is made to the website. The website, in return, asks for a multi-factor authentication code. So, depending on how you've configured multi-factor authentication on that site, you may receive the code by email, or you may have a Google Authenticator app, which I'm going to show you in a little bit, or you may simply get a text message to tell you what the code is. However method you choose is really your convenience. It's not a requirement usually. Not all sites will support all methods, but many sites will support different methods, and you should use the one that you particularly like. Not one is more secure than the other, in other words. Now I'm going to show you a practical example of multi-factor authentication on Facebook. I enter my name and my password and hit login. Now it's going to ask me to enter my 6-digit code from a code generator. That's referring to my Google Authenticator app. What you're going to see here is that there's a timer clicking down. When that reaches the end, it's going to show another code. The only trick to authentication with an app is you have to use the 6-digit code that you're presented at the time that the two-factor authentication request has been made. It's important to understand, though, that the two-factor authentication required that I'm showing you on my screen is looking for the 6-digit code that was available at the time that you requested it. You can't just open up and enter a 6-digit code anytime. It's a 6-digit unique code for that one login. That makes this very, very secure. So I put in the code that it's showing me. And then it's going to ask me if I want to save the browser. If this is a browser that I use all the time, I can save it. If it's not, I shouldn't save it. I use this browser all the time, so I'm going to go ahead and save the browser. Now I'm logged into Facebook. What I want to show you here is where you'd go in Facebook to set up two-factor authentication so that you can utilize it for yourself. From your home screen, this little drop down right here where it says Account, you're going to go down to Settings and Privacy, and then you're going to go to Settings. And once you're in Settings, you can find on the left side Security and Login. Under Security and Login, it'll show different areas where I've logged into Facebook where I've used it. But what I'm interested here is the two-factor authentication stuff right here. So I've got two-factor authentication turned on right now. If I edit this, I can turn different ways to authenticate on and off. Right now, you'll see that I have an Authenticator app, but I also have, as a backup, text message app. I can use either one of those to receive a code. Suppose I change my phone number. I can click Manage and turn off authentication by that method, or I can just change it to another phone number. It's very easy to manage once it's turned on. I hope you found my explanation of multi-factor authentication helpful, and you can begin to use this technique to secure your own web browsing experiences. Thanks for watching.